Welcome to College Antics Part 3! Wasn't originally going to do a Part 3 to this, but then my friends went and reminded me of a whole bunch of other stuff that happened at college that I completely forgot about. So here we are with a third part in this series, I guess. Also, if the lighting looks shit in this video, I do apologise. It's very bright in this room at the moment. I have a window there, my light's on, but for some reason whenever I wear a white t-shirt in a video, the lighting just decides to fucking shit its pants and not function correctly. So I apologise if this video looks crap, basically. And with that out of the way, let's get on with another 7 funny things that happened while I was at college. Alright, so first up we have Van Maniac. What do I mean by Van Maniac? Well, let's set the scene, shall we? If you've watched the first 2 parts in the series, you will know that trips to McDonald's were a frequent occurrence. So this happened on one of our many McDonald's trips, as did a lot of these funny antics. This was one of our earlier trips, I think, and we would take a different route to begin with before we discovered a better route. And this one would take us through a housing area and onto essentially a roundabout where some different main roads came onto it. Yeah, we had to cross over from one end of the road to the other, like next to this roundabout, and this is where the funny thing occurred. So we're sort of walking along, getting ready to cross, and all of a sudden this van comes speeding down the road from like uptown towards the roundabout, like actual, when I say van maniac, I mean an actual maniac driving this thing. There's literally like 2 or 3 police cars chasing him, and this maniac proceeds to get on the roundabout and just disregard all road safety and anyone else that's actually driving at the time and just fucking pelts it around the roundabout, goes around a good few times being chased by cop cars, and then fucks off back up the way that he came. Thankfully no one was hurt, at least from what I saw in that particular area of the town. Hopefully no one else got hurt when he went off somewhere else, fingers crossed. When I say he pelted it round the roundabout, I mean he like full on, we could see through the window, like through the windshield, this guy was just like leaning over the steering wheel going, like full on, like he'd stolen like half the contents of Fort Knox or something, and he's now being chased by like the FBI or some shit. He looks so desperate to not get caught. He's like, either he just committed a serious offence or dude's been playing way too much GTA recently. Either way, it was kind of entertaining. I probably shouldn't say that because he was probably a wanted criminal, but fuck it was entertaining. So yeah, that happened. Next up, we have twerking for phone charger. That's how it's written on the list that I've got, so that's what I'm calling it. Okay, so this is a funny antic that actually happened on the bus on the way to college one day. Basically, long story short, one of my friends, if you're watching this, you know who you are, decided to pinch my phone charger out of my bag, and he wouldn't give it back to me until I twerked for him. That's the whole story, basically. In exchange for the safe return of my phone charger, which I would desperately have needed that day because my phone at college was just suicidal and decided to just waste its battery before I even got there half the time. In exchange for the safe return of this much needed phone charger, all I had to do was allow my friend to film me twerking, and I'm pretty sure the video is still somewhere on Snapchat. I may get it up if I can find it and download it, but if not, then just use your imagination. Right, this is one that I don't really remember particularly myself, but my friends did remind me of it, so I'm going to try and remember what I can from it. Basically, elevator stuff. That's what I'm calling it, elevator stuff. And there was, in the building that I was in, there was ground floor, first floor, second floor. I think I mentioned this in like part 2 or something. But yeah, there was 3 floors and there was stairs, and there's also a lift. But yeah, oftentimes we'd meet up on the little balcony that had like a big like table and everything. We'd often meet up in there on like lunch breaks and stuff, just because, well, let's just say having a lift next to us was a good source of entertainment on some days. And it wasn't even really all that funny, to be honest. It's one of those things you just got to sort of be there to really appreciate the nuanced comedy of, I guess you'd say. I think I remember one time that it was the old like, oh Jake, get in the lift and we'll send you down, and then I go down and then I go back up and they've gone, and then we do the old going up and down the floors, using the stairs and the lift, we keep missing each other sort of thing, that classic comedy sketch style scenario. And I think there was another time where they got me to just sit in a chair in the lift and they sent me on down, and when I got down to the bottom, the door just opens and there's just like some random stranger waiting to get in the lift, and I'm just sat there on a chair like, right? and then I just get sent back up again. Yeah, that was quite funny actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, the moral of the story is, if you're bored at college and you have an elevator, use it. It can be very entertaining if you've got the right imagination and some funny friends. Next up we have Aston's marshmallow depression, and I think if he is watching this, then he will know exactly what I mean the instant I said that. I can't remember exactly what the build-up to this particular scenario was, or what the context was, but all I know is we walked down to Tesco's, which is nearby to our college, and for some reason my friend Aston just bought like a big bag of like marshmallows, not tiny marshmallows or like the proper big fat marshmallows that are like that big, you know, the ones that are like, you know, the ones that you'd never be able to fit in your mouth in one go in a million years unless you're a fat bastard. For some reason he bought a bag of them, and we got back to college and I think this was near the end of the day, so we were just like waiting for the bus to show up at this point, and it's like an hour and a half wait because fucking course it is. What did you expect? So we just sort of waiting around for something to happen, I think, and we just sat like on this bench at the bottom of one of the staircases, like right towards the edge back of the building or something, so it's kind of a depressing situation to begin with already. And I don't know, Aston just pulls out this bag of big marshmallows, opens them, just starts eating them while we just sat there looking really depressed, and I don't know, I don't really know why. I don't really know why that particular thing was really stuck in our minds, since I'm not sure why. I just find it funny that Aston felt so depressed while stuffing his face with marshmallows in a dingy corner of the college underneath the staircase. I find that kind of funny, but also very sad at the same time. Could we have an F in the chat for our friend Aston the Marshmallow Muncher, please? Aston, if you're watching this, sorry for humiliating you for yet another time. Okay, next up. Sorry Aston, I'm afraid I'm going to humiliate you again for a second time this video with Aston's disastrous text messages to his ex. Okay, so yeah, basically my friend Aston had a rather disastrous relationship during secondary school, which was just before college, and yeah, it wasn't like bad or anything in like a horrible sense. It was just like naff, you know, they didn't really go well together, and both of them acknowledged this, so it's totally fine for me to say it in the video. But yeah, the funny part of this story comes a couple years later when we're at college. I can't remember if he decided to do it himself or whether me and another friend like spurred him on to do it or not. I can't remember exactly which, but basically he decided to start texting her again for some reason, and I haven't got any screenshots or anything to show you, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, basically what ensued was possibly the most depressing string of text messages I've ever seen in my life. Just like, hey, 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 and then when she finally does respond, hi, our relationship was shit, wasn't it? Yeah. Why are you bringing this up after like 3 years? You know, it's like the most awkward thing you've ever read in your life, and it was really funny. And Aston, if you're still watching this video, sorry for humiliating you twice. And moving away from making fun of my friend for a moment, we're now going to move on to that time that the bus driver didn't know the route back home. Okay, so our college is like up in the next county from where most of us actually live, so we had to get a bus there, and usually the bus journey is fine, it goes really well. One time, however, on the way back was quite the exception. So basically we're getting picked up at like 5:30 in the evening or something, and I think this was like the middle of winter as well, so it was pitch black by this point. And I think we must have had like a substitute bus driver that day or something, because I'm sure he wasn't the normal guy that we usually had. And on the way back, he just, not even a full minute down the road, he takes the wrong turn on a roundabout and ends up driving halfway across the town in the wrong direction. And after about 10 minutes of driving the wrong way, through parts of this town that are in pitch black that I'm sure I've never even seen before, so God knows what everyone else is thinking. After about 10 minutes, he stops the bus. I didn't hear it myself firsthand, but well, it's a double-decker bus. Word travels back pretty quick, you know, it's like the fastest grapevine of information ever. But it seems like this bus driver was so unsure of where he was going, he actually had to ask the students on the bus where he was supposed to go. Yeah, that was quite interesting. So we was like half an hour late getting back home that day. You'd think at the very least they would have told him what the route is, you know, but like, no, that we just said, how does that happen? Like, what the fuck? Is this an episode of like On the Buses or something? Like, what the fuck's going on with this guy? But anyway, last funny antic for the video, and it's another one that happened on the bus. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so this one was quite the messy one, shall we just say the least. Probably the only time I've ever been in a food fight, shall we say, as well. And if you're already wondering, wait, what? Then yeah. So yeah, essentially a food fight of sorts broke out on the bus. It wasn't like massive food fight. It was just like throwing a few biscuits and bananas around. It was like a little bit wild, but like it was about as wild as things would get on that bus, to be honest. It was usually pretty docile for the most part. But yeah, I think how it started was basically one of the girls that was in the same obviously everyone on the bus wasn't in the same classes at college, but like everyone basically within the same big group of people that were all coming from the town where I live and going up to Yeovil College, basically like the whole group of us that would all get the bus essentially. Yeah, in amongst this group there was like this like really short girl who for some reason we kept calling Lely Kelly. I don't know why. I think there was something about her having like Lely Kelly shoes on or something. I don't know if that was actually true or whether it was just people taking the piss, but anyhow, it kind of escalated and we kept calling her Lely Kelly as a joke, and then yeah, and I think that led to her starting this food fight. And all you really need to do is just picture the double-decker bus. The whole top floor is just smelly college students throwing bits of food at each other back and forth, ducking behind the seats, trying not to get hit. There was biscuits, there was bits of fruit, there was... I don't know what the fuck that was. All I remember is I was hit in the face with a bit of banana and it left a stain on one of my old t-shirts, and I'm kind of mad about that, not gonna lie. On the plus side, it made a dull day a bit more interesting towards the end. Moral of the story is, don't anger short people, they cause the most destructive outcomes, I guess. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that was another round of funny college antics. I probably won't do a part 4 unless my friends remind me again of some more funny things that happened that I've forgotten about. Don't expect to see another part to this series unless I say otherwise. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to try and be back this time next week with another video, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, see you. Sorry, I zoned out for a minute there. So yeah, have a great day, everybody. Don't anger dwarfs. Don't get in trouble with the police and drive a van around a roundabout like you're some fucking maniac on a GTA 5-star wanted level. And if you're a bus driver, make sure you know where the fuck you're going beforehand. Yeah. Goodbye. Bye, everyone. Bye. See ya. Bye. 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 Bye.